He, as soon as he got it, he's like,
Let's go.
Yeah.
Excuse me, guys. Ooh, cookies. Nice jacket.
Really? This is very interesting. I wonder what my dear friend Tim Kuniskis is going to reveal at his June 8th announcement. And I wonder if it has anything to do with some very interesting photos that I've gotten from a few friends of mine about what's running down the assembly line at the Ram plants. Okay, well, over 44,000 friends and the 72% of you guys who are watching these videos but not subscribe, help a butter out to try to get my first milestone and try to eat that lead that OC Motivator has over me. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, because let's get right into what I believe is going to be coming from Tim Kuniskis at the Ram reveal on June 8th. Now, there's no mystery over the past few months that me, TK, and OC, we've been leaking a lot of interesting things, especially Hemi related things. Back around November, TK first revealed to us that, he's been hearing rumblings that Tim Kuniskis and John Elkins been having conversations about Tim Kuniskis coming back.
Something I never thought could happen after Kuniskis getting basically burned, during the last interview process or discussion process when Tavares was still CEO just a month or so ago, before we started talking to the BMW executives, before they started talking to, possibly making Antonio CEO. Could they be going back to Mopar Jesus? It looks that way, because according to all three of my executive sources, he's been on the phone this week.
And so I'm like, if Tim Kuniskis is coming back, there's only one reason only he is coming back to Ram. And that is because he wants to bring the V8s back. Because that's one of the things I believe that he left, earlier that year, is because of the nonsense with Carl Tavares and him canceling some projects, specifically some Hemi products that I might have, caught wind on.
Ram's a really good example of that. If we had that safety blanket of buying credits, we would still be building and selling the ancient iron black Hemi V8 that everybody loves. Knowing that we're going into this environment have forced us into a space where we had to develop a whole new powertrain strategy. A very high-tech twin-turbo 3-liter Hurricane that's going to actually give much better performance and be much more efficient and more flexible in the future. We wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for those regulations. So it's a long way to say, yes, it's super tough, but the CEO, he burned our boats, and we're forced to make the tough calls to make sure that we're on a trajectory towards the long-term compliance.
So I'm going with Tavares basically going to be out the door in a few weeks, and Tim Kuniskis is already having conversations with John Elkin about this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Hemis are back on the menu. So I figured that, once he came back, it's going to be not too long before we actually start hearing rumors about this. Starting in January, we got plenty of articles with Tim Kuniskis, especially about him saying that, getting rid of the Hemi V8 was un-American, how now he won't rule out that a Hemi V8 could make it back into Ram. Then we got Dodge saying that they won't rule out a Hemi V8 back in their cars. Then we got the other articles about the architecture that's in these new vehicles, the new Stella brain architecture that the UAW was talking about last year. They didn't necessarily really like. We heard that, if they wanted to bring the Hemi back, there's going to take some time for it to happen, because this new architecture was not designed with Hemis in mind. We basically have so much confirmation that the Hemi's coming back, and then you throw on top of it, me and TK, we have leaked that the Hemi V8 is in production in Mexico right now. We've actually leaked with actual internal documents that, they're producing several hundred Hemis basically a week down in Mexico before they even start bringing Hemis back to America. It made way more sense to go ahead and basically shortchange Hurricane production, which is why one of the main reasons you don't see a lot of Hurricane vehicles floating around out there, and these plants are basically not having enough Hurricane engines to go around to keep production up, because they basically cut Hurricane production down, increase Hemi production, because that is the bread and butter of the company. Now, some people don't want to basically admit that, and basically are going like, oh my God, there's no way the Hemi is coming back. The Hemi is like old news, but it's what the customers want. So me and TK, we have leaked in documentation that yes, the Hemi is coming back. It is in Mexico. They're making but so many per week in Mexico, and they're going to keep doing this until they actually have a chance to move the Hemi production back into the United States, which that could all change depending on how tariffs work. But we've got that situation going on, and then we also have gotten leaks from an actual dealership who actually put on paper that the TRX is coming back with more power. Then we also got another leak, TK's Garage, leaking another piece of internal documentation that said, yeah, that the 5.7 Hemi with the eTorque system is coming back, and also the TRX is coming back, and TRX is coming back in Q1 of 2026. So basically, what I see this June 8th reveal being, especially with the clues in that video with Tim Kuniskis, Heavy D Sparks, and the guy with the fighter pilot jacket on, is basically Ram's announcement that the 5.7 Hemi with the eTorque system is coming back to Ram.
I mean, as soon as he got it, he's like, let's go.
Yeah. Excuse me, guys. Ooh, cookies. Nice jacket.
Time out. Pardon the interruption. But if you're looking to upgrade your ride, do not sleep on these deals. Head over to my friends at dragracingwheels.com and justbolt-ons.com and use my promo code BUTTER at checkout to save up to an additional 15% off on your next order. Wheels, tires, exhaust, performance parts, they got it all. And if you're a member of the military or first responder, you can save even more, up to 20% off on select brands like Ford Star, Corsa, MBRP, and more. So don't miss out. This offer expires on June 4th. So go check it out and save some money before the summer hits. Now let's get back to this. Now I have a photo right here from a few friends of mine, but this right here is a 5.7 Hemi running down the assembly line, and it is on a Ram 1500 chassis. So before, I know Ram gonna try to figure out exactly who shot this picture. That's why I blurred majority of it, but this is basically proof positive that yes, Hemis are running down the assembly line at Ram, and they do have the eTorque system on it. So I believe that this is basically gonna be announced with the 5.7 Hemi. We may see an announcement for the TRX, but as far as I know, for right now, the TRX is gonna be late available up until what, like Q1 of 2026. So we might get a TRX announcement as well too, but I fully believe we're gonna get a 5.7 Hemi announcement coming back to Ram. We might get an announcement of a few trims or whatever, but at least we kind of know the bread and butter that Hemis are in fact back on the menu. Now, that particular guy who's running around in the actual fighter pilot outfit, that's basically just code to me that they are definitely going to basically reveal an engine, specifically older engines that they have in the past.
He got it. He's like, let's go.
Yeah. Excuse me, guys. Ooh, cookies.
If you've noticed, a lot of these daggone engines from Stellantis or FCA days, they're codenamed after planes.
What we decided to do was, I remember distinctly, Bob Lee was the head of powertrain at the time. And I happened to be in a meeting and we were talking about the development of the car. And we, of course, just like, brand people do, we were pushing them, we need more. And he, in the conversation, said the word Hellcat. And Hellcat was the code name within his team developing the engine privately. It wasn't in any of the documentation. It was just the code name that they called the car. And I said, whoa, what did you say? Now, Hellcat was the name of a plane, and Bob was he was really into the old military planes. And so he always named the things after old military planes. That's why you had Apache and things like that.
So you had Apache, just for the helicopter, you had Hellcat, Eagle, and all that stuff. So Eagle, that's the code name for the 5.7 Hemi. And he does like he's in a fighter pilot uniform. So that's what I'm thinking that this is a reference to, is for the F-15 Eagle plane. So that to me is code for the 5.7 Hemi. So that's what I'm thinking that we're going to see with this particular reveal. I don't know really too much other details are going to happen other than that I've got photos of 5.7 Hemis coming down the assembly line. As far as I know, the only other vehicle unreleased going down the assembly line is the actual REPB, which is basically the Ram Charger, which got delayed.
We will offer a better range of Ram e-technology with architectures that are designed to evolve in the future based upon changing customer needs, usages, and expectations, adaptable across a wide variety of products. And in 2024, with full knowledge of what our competitors are doing, we will surpass their offerings with the Ram 1500 battery electric vehicle built to again redefine the full-size segment. In summary, we are not following in the footsteps of our competitors.
So other than that, I've not seen anyone tell me about any TRX mules running down this assembly line, just basically just 5.7 Hemi trucks. So we'll probably see TRX mules run down the assembly line. If it's gonna be Q1 2026 for an actual TRX, we'll probably start seeing mules run around maybe November, December timeframe, just to make sure everything is running right. I think this is a great play by Ram to delay the TRX, because you want to make sure that a Halo product launches without bugs. And I revealed in videos like this right here last year that there was a ton of bugs with the 2025 trucks. And I like Tim Kuniskis' approach for delay rather than rush. It's better to delay a product to make sure that it's perfect rather than rush it, piss people off, and then they got a bunch of bugs they got to try to figure out in real time. So kind of like how the Charter Daytona was rushed, Ram ain't doing the same nonsense with Russian products in the future that's not ready. So definitely I can't wait to see what's going to happen else on the June 8th reveal. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a pretty interesting text message from somebody from Ram. I'm not saying no names, but this is what I think is going to happen at the reveal. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Will we see the 5.7 Hemi announced at this event with Tim Kuniskis? Could we hear of talk about the actual Ram TRX? Or could we possibly see an actual return of the SRT-10 truck with a V10 engine, which I talk about in this video right here that you can check out? So let me know what you guys think, and until the next time, I'm out.